Hello, welcome to another YouTube Live. Here we are after the summer break. And before the summer, we were doing this every week. This was your chance to ask questions live and to be here with me. And we can chat all things NLP, all things emotions, all things about the mind, the unconscious mind. And more importantly, like how to connect to that spark within and that calm within, and to reduce anxiety and step into authentic confidence. So here we are after the summer break. Welcome. Thank you for joining me. And I don't know where you are in the world. I'd love to hear. You can pop a message in the chat. Here where I am, it's still very much like summer. It's still very warm. very, very hot. As you can see, I'm still wearing dresses and it still feels like summer. So coming back to work, but it's still very much like summer vibes here. And today I want to update you on all the events that are happening this autumn. There are many different things that I'm offering, and there are many different options as well. So there's in-person, online, because I have people following my work from everywhere, people locally and also people around the world. So there's something for everyone. And one that I'm super excited about that's happening this week is happening at Artemis. So Artemis is a women's health center in Barcelona. And this week on Thursday, I'm offering a women's circle. So this will be the first women's circle that I'll be offering at this center. And we have a lovely group of women signed up already. Like, there's been so much interest for this. This is amazing. Like, I love that there's so many people that are recognizing the benefit and the power of sitting in circle, like being in circle with women. So if you're not quite sure what that means, what that is about, that essentially what that means is that we're all sat in a circle, obviously, and each and every person has their chance to share from the heart, if they wish, about whatever they're feeling, whatever's going on for them. It's your place to share without judgment. And we hold space for that. We listen, we pay attention, and it's really healing and really wonderful to have that. And every single person has their turn and they can share as much or as little as they like. I started a women's circle, a private one, many years ago. So this was a time where I was going through a challenging time and I felt that I needed some more support. I needed something to, like, a space where I could literally just talk and be heard, aside from therapy. And it was something that was so healing and so wonderful. And I'm really glad that I did that. I reached out to a handful of friends and said, hey, I want to set up a women's circle. Who wants to join me? And we're still going today. And this was many years later. This was actually before COVID. So we've been going all through everything. And we switched online during that time. And then now we still enjoy meeting up time to time. And it's been such a healing space. And we've made like even deeper friendships within the group, and like people, like I knew everyone in the group, but many people only knew me, and deep friendships have been made between them as well, which is so beautiful to see and witness. So women's circles or men's circles or mixed circles or circles for any human being, like when we come together in community and we have a space where we can share from the heart and listen to each other, like this is what we've been doing since back in the day, like when we were cavemen and women, like sat around the campfire sharing stories. This is something that brings us back to where we come from. Like when we sit in circle, we remember who we are, and what life is all about, like connection and learning and growing and evolving in community. So I'm really excited to offer this. So if you're interested, if you're a woman, you can come. There are last couple of spaces because it's super popular. So if you want to come, then send me a message. So +34 6226 98673 on WhatsApp. You can send me a WhatsApp. And so that's for women. If you're not a woman, there are other options. There are other things that I'm offering. So the Women's Circles for Women, obviously. The other thing that I'm offering is on the 30th of September. I'm really excited. 30th of September, I'm starting a 3-part series, and this is the first time I'm doing this in this format, in this way, putting everything I've learned over the last 11 plus years, like putting it all together and doing it in this way and making it really personalized. Because this is a thing, like over the years, I've given many workshops, I've done many talks, I've done so many things, and a lot of the workshops have been giving practical tools and tips that work for the majority of people, and so many people have really benefited from those. Though I wanted to take it a step further, and I love depth, so I wanted to take it a step further, and I wanted to create something that was really personal and unique. So still in a group setting, a group format, but unique for you. Because this is the thing. In the wellness space, there are so many different tools and techniques out there that can really help people to reduce anxiety, to connect to a sense of calm, to boost confidence. Like there are so many things out there to heal trauma, many different modalities and practices. Now, this is the thing. Most of those can work for the majority of people, and people can get great benefit from those. Though we can make it a lot easier when we really dive into what makes you, you. And this is where the NLP comes in. Those of you who don't know, I'm an NLP trainer, and my background is in really understanding your blueprint, like what makes up you and what blueprint do you have? What map of the world do you have? Like, what is your perspective on life and about yourself and about the world and about others? Because what you think and believe has a knock-on effect on what you experience. And it's almost like we have this map, or we have these pair of glasses that we look through, and these glasses can really vary from person to person. There are some common beliefs that many people hold, though everyone has their own. Everyone has their own set of beliefs according to experiences they've had when they were younger. And not only do we filter our experience according to our beliefs, we also filter our experience according to our values that we hold, our meta programs, that's diving into advanced NLP there, or like many other things, like representational systems also have a play in this as well. So our preferred sense, like are we very visual? Are we very kinesthetic? Like is touch important for us? Are words important to us? Are like sounds important to us? Like what's important and what do we find easier to connect to? So that's a huge component, all of that. And when we pay attention to that and we learn and we put all the dots together, we create this blueprint. It's like, yeah, this is, it brings more clarity. It brings more empowerment. It's like, okay, I understand why now. I understand why I do what I do. And from there, I can make more better choices to really help create a sense of calm and ease. So this is my focus, because this is what I've spent many years working on, is helping people with anxiety and helping people to come back to that sense of calm that lies within, not to force something or not to tap into a state that we haven't really felt, but to come back to that very core that lies within, that stillness within that we all have. We all have this. So we have the mind, we have the emotions, we have everything else, but there's this deeper core, there's this deeper essence, and there's this deeper stillness, this calmness within. Those of you who have listened to the podcast would have heard me talk about this vision that I had. And I had this vision when I was in a meditation healing group. And I saw this, as I was there in this meditative state, I saw this scene that was, everything was white. It was like this white desert, you know, those salt deserts, like everything is white. white sky, white earth, like everything was white. And there was this goddess there, and she had white hair, and that was just like blowing in the wind. She was wearing white. Everything was just like this white light. And her hair was just like blowing around really chaotically, and there was a lot of wind and chaos. But her look and her expression on her face, like everything was so serene. It was so still. And that vision has always stuck with me, like having that as an example that despite the chaos or despite the emotions or despite the thoughts or despite whatever is going on, that stillness is always there within. So this is what these workshops are about. It's about coming back to that and finding your way to do that, like the way that works for you, and to make that easier for you to reduce anxiety, come back to this sense of calm and ease, and step into your authentic confidence. It's not about faking it till you make it, or like nothing against Tony Robbins, but like, yeah, like all those go, go, go type workshops. It's not about that. It's about that authentic confidence. Like, who are you truly within, and living life from that. So that's what we'd be focused on, with lots of practical tools and tips and all of that. So the NLP is a very big part of that. And then what I'm doing, which I'm really excited about, is bringing in numerology with this. Now, this is the thing. We've got the part of the mind, the emotions, all of that. That's important. And what some people forget about in the coaching space and in this world of coaching, NLP, mindset, all of that, is that we have the soul. We have the soul, and it has its plan. It has its not goals, but it has its experiences that it's looking for to experience in this lifetime, and certain things it wants to learn, wants to experience. And everyone's different, and we can understand a little bit more about that using numerology. That's one modality. That's the modality that I use. There are many others out there. Some people might have heard of astrology or human design, or like many other different forms and modalities out there. Numerology is something that I love because it's so simple, it's so insightful, it's so accurate. Like when I've done birth charts for people, like they've literally been like, wow, like you've just described me to a T. That makes total sense. And it's amazing what we can uncover thanks to a few numbers. And this is not something that is just new, pulled out of the hat, like has no background in. This is something by Pythagoras. This is the version that I use. There are many different types out there, but the version that I use is what Pythagoras and his students developed. And this is ancient. This is an ancient art, the ancient art of like the science of numbers. And it's fascinating. And even like my students who are, they're not really into too much, I don't want to use the word woo-woo, but like things that are a little bit more alternative and holistic. Even some of the students that are not really into all of that, they have found it interesting. And it can be really insightful. And this was one of the things I shared on the podcast, that one of the episodes that for so many years, I used to beat myself up and think, I need to meditate in this way. I need to do it how everyone else does it. I need to, my mind was giving a whole list of shoulds, like should. Like, do it this way, because that's how everyone else is doing it. And then I was really struggling with certain things. I was really struggling, and I was finding like, why is this difficult for me? Like, why do I find this challenging when other people can sit down at a certain time every single day, meditate for a certain number of minutes, and do that all the time? Why do I find that difficult? Now, for many different people, it could be different reasons. But when I dived into numerology, I then understood, for me personally, according to the numbers that I have in my chart, I was like, okay, yes, now I understand why dance is so important for me and why sitting still and meditating cross-legged at the same time every single day and doing it for the same number of minutes every day, why that doesn't really feel like it's something for me to do all the time. Don't get me wrong, I love doing that sometimes, and I do, though the form of meditation and mindfulness that really lights me up and that really fulfills me and that I find so much easier is movement, like mindful movement and dance. That's one of my meditations, dancing. So numerology really helped me to feel a little more love and tenderness and acceptance for myself, and to really find the ways that made it a lot easier for me to tap into that sense of calm, to come back into my body and let go of all the chatter of the mind. So blending all of these together, and there'll be many other things as well. So I make the workshops very interactive, and it all has this central theme, though there are many different ways that we explore that, and we'll be doing just that. So that will be on the 30th of September. That will be in person in Villeneuve i Geltrú, which is a short train ride from Barcelona. And if you're not in the area and you would like to learn more about this, I have the online version, because there are 3 workshops. So there are 2 in person, and then one of them is online. And you can join all 3, or you can join just 1 or 2, whatever works for you. So the online one is on the 8th of November. And that's for anyone who is out there, wherever you are in the world, that wants to learn about this and wants to really find out a little bit more about yourself and your blueprint and what makes you you and what helps you to connect to that sense of calm. So that's everything that's coming up, and I'm super excited to share all of that. So you can also find links in the comment section for the podcast, and that's coming out still every other week. We have another very special episode coming out next week. So at the time of recording this, next week we have, or is it this week? Actually, yeah, it's this week. This is the weeks are just flying by. So this week we have the special 50th episode. 50 episodes already. Can you believe it? So there's a special episode coming out for you, and I'll be answering some of your questions, some questions that have come in. So I'll be answering those on the podcast. So thank you so much for joining. I'll be back here next Monday. So this will be back as a regular weekly class, a free class for you. Today was more like a little update. And if you want more, you can also find in the comment section that there is a free download. So if you're already on my newsletter list, you'll have this in your inbox already. But if you're not, you'll find a link there, and there's a free download to a free class that you can get. And this is all about awakening to the magic that is you. So there's much more to come, and I'm really excited to share all these things, and for the women's circle and the workshops, and to really find out, get curious. I encourage you to, whether you come to the workshops or not, whether you listen to the podcast or not, that's your choice. That's all there for you as an opportunity, as a way for you to learn some useful things. Though even still, just get curious and just ask yourself, okay, what helps me? What makes it easier? And what is my way of doing things? Not to remain stuck in a pattern or a habit, but to understand a little more of your personality, psychology, and also what you're here to do in this lifetime. And if you're not sure about that, and if you want a little more clarity, there's one-on-one sessions also that we can do to explore a little bit more about that, especially using the numerology. Super interesting. So I'll be back next week, Monday. So these classes will be every Monday at 7 Central European time, and I will cover a different topic. So today was more like an update, a check-in, and to see how you are. I hope you had a lovely summer, whatever you did. Those of you who are on my newsletter list would have heard all about the adventures in Denmark that I had and everything that I was up to there. And yeah, it was a wonderful, wonderful time. So I'm excited to connect more and do more workshops and be back here and with you. So I'll be back here on Monday at 7 Central European Time with another topic, another little class, and we can continue this wonderful world of remembering the magic of who we are. Sending much love.